Welcome back to the Legit Day Job Podcast. I'm Cody.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Kay.
And this is our legit day job.
That's what we legitimately do every day for a living. And by living, I mean this is our sole purpose in life now. It's not like we make money. We just
Correct. Well, I mean, it's implied we
sponsored.
do because
yeah, but
we're sponsored. Yeah, like every episode is a different sponsor. That's a lot of cash.
that goes to the top of the pyramid.
And
here we're like at the bottom.
But it's our legit day job. Thus, we do make money.
A penny? That doesn't count.
Pennies.
Half of a penny.
Pennies.
You guys make pennies? I make
that's right.
one.
That's right. You are
I'm part-time.
You're also the water boy here on staff.
Don't compare me to Sandler.
What? Oh. Hey, welcome back to day 9 of Toho-thon.
Well, welcome to
Day 9 already? Wow.
Yeah,
Or
welcome
episode
to
9?
What'd I say?
Episode 9?
Yeah, day 9, episode 9.
You're right. We're not coming back.
Did I say
This is the first.
Did I say welcome back?
Yeah.
Oh.
Welcome to day 9.
Now welcome back to episode 9, day 9 of Toho-thon. We watched Invasion of Astro-Monster
A masterpiece.
and Ebirah, Horror of the Deep.
Another masterpiece. Honestly,
Before we get into it real quick.
I'm not even joking about either of those. It's not ironic.
Oh yeah, there
Yeah,
was
you
masterpiece.
stayed awake for both.
I did.
For once.
I stayed awake through 100% of 2 movies.
it's
Which-
which has never happened.
crowning
Even
achievement.
even Gojira. As much as I loved that movie, I fell asleep for maybe like 5% of it.
Huzzah!
Yeah, it's whew.
It's a new day. It truly is a new day.
You know what? Actually, maybe Godzilla raids again and Gigantus the fire monster. Maybe I did the same for those. I don't remember though. I think I probably fell asleep for another 5%, but this actually might be the second time I stayed awake through 2. But either way, it's a crowning achievement.
And just like that,
Just like these movies.
the moment was ruined in one fell swoop. He defrauded himself. I did.
No, I gave myself more credit. This would be the second time.
No, but it wasn't as impressive because you had already done it.
Oh, well.
But before we get into these movies, I wanna make a quick note of something, a retraction, if you will, and a correction. You see, yesterday, I had finally, after like 2.5 weeks, I finally had some free time yesterday here at the office. So
We have free time in the office?
I know, right? It's so.
It's almost like this job isn't legit.
No, that's preposterous. Let's not slander ourselves. I went back out of curiosity. I don't remember why, but I'm glad I did. I went back and I recalculated all of the budget and box office numbers with inflation calculated into it. At least for the films that
So
I have that info for.
So from like
Gojira.
no, but I mean from yen to
USD.
But also adjusting for inflation. Like, did you adjust the yen for inflation and then translate that to USD, or
I used I had to track it. I had to track one down. I'm surprised, honestly, that it was as difficult as it was. I found like a program that calculates it. You just like input the date you want to.
That makes it easy.
Recalculate it to, or like you input the date that the calculations are from, and then
because I don't imagine like yen and USD inflated at the same amount.
I'm not sure.
I feel like somehow. I mean, I'm no economist, but like I feel like somehow.
What'd you just say?
I'm no economist.
Oh,
He is an
okay.
economist.
I thought you said I don't know economists, but
No, I don't know any economists, but
He
I'm
is
not
one.
one either. So, so I'm no pro at this at money stuff. But
What are you saying you are?
What?
You are legit.
no, I'm not.
what?
I'm not legit.
Get out! Get out! I was told that you were. This is for legit only, legit people only.
Yeah, I had to put that on the resume so I could get
What-
away.
what? How dare you, sir? How
real-
dare you?
The legit reasons come out. The truth.
Legit scandal 2019.
This is legit blasphemy.
Anyway, so just real quick, I didn't bother with any of the solo films. I only went back to the Godzilla films, largely because those are typically the ones that have the budget and box office numbers for. A lot of them, I just couldn't find any info on them.
Yeah, they kind of died after their initial release.
So yeah, just real quick, I want to just reiterate. I don't remember what numbers I gave you guys for these, so I'm just gonna tell you what the recalculated ones are.
Take it away.
Gojira, 1954. Get out of here! I got a text that's blocking my note. Had a total budget of 101 million yen, which roughly translates to $280,000. Roughly.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's not a whole lot.
No, it's not.
The box office. This is Japan.
Impressive though.
Japan only. The final box office for Gojira was I'll just tell you the USD, the rough translations. Roughly 422,000. So it almost doubled its budget.
Pretty good.
I couldn't find anything on Godzilla Raids again. So the next one I have stats for is King Kong versus Godzilla, which God damn it, I keep getting text. Stop blocking my notes. That one had a rough budget of $416,000, roughly, and that one doubled the budget on that one
after 10 years,
and it paid off. I think this one especially I think helps because I don't remember what numbers I gave you guys, but I do remember when we talked about King Kong vs. Godzilla, I mentioned how it was like to this day the most popular one, but the numbers didn't really reflect. Like you were asking,
it made
like,
$1 billion US.
So a budget of 416,000 roughly US dollars. Its box office, Japan alone, was about $1.2 million.
Oh.
Wow, that was actually triple.
A smash hit.
It made back triple what it put in.
And it's just gonna keep climbing from there. Mothra versus Godzilla, they went all out on that one. They gave that one a budget of roughly $555,000. It netted them roughly $7.4 million.
Whoa.
I don't have the budget for Ghidorah the three-headed monster, but they made approximately $1 million. Next one's Invasion of Astro-Monster. So that brings the Invasion of Astro-Monster, which just before we get into it, I'll just while it's here, had a budget of roughly $366,000. It made a profit of roughly $583,000. Still a profit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No smash hit like the like some of the others, but still a profit nonetheless.
Not a smash hit like The Room.
Yes.
I'm not talking about the Brie Larson award-winning movie. I'm talking about
that's just Room. Yes, you're referring to The Room.
Yeah, The Room.
The Room. The financial and critical masterpiece.
I think we came from different planets, Cody.
I came from whatever planet Tommy Wiseau claims he came from.
Planet X.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of that, let's get into it.
yeah, speaking of that, so Invasion of Astro-Monster. Rough synopsis. Basically, mankind discovers a planet behind Jupiter. All of a sudden,
So they go to check it out
they go to check it out, and then
with like advanced space travel. Was it just me, or did like they get from here to Jupiter in like a day or two?
they got there in I think a day. I think they said like it was like 22 hours. To be fair, they also said that they've been space traveling for over 30 years, and this was set in the
60s,
mid
so-
60s. So
So
clearly,
pre World War II, they've been doing space travel.
yeah, clearly this is a tie-in with the Transformers series because that's the only way that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so a new
They're
planet.
also the greatest nation on the planet.
They are probably because they had space travel before us plebeians discovered it. So yeah, they find Planet X, and Martians show up from Planet X. I'm just gonna call them Martians.
They're not actually. They're
not from Mars.
They're X-Men.
Oh, that's right. Yes, the X-Men. That's
Yeah.
excuse me. How dare I?
Yeah, how dare you?
So the
that wasn't very legit, Cody.
that was not very legit, but neither are you. So I guess it's a moot point.
Oh, I'm completely illegit.
What? Go back 5 minutes. You said you're not legit.
The president would not like me here.
What?
I'm so lost.
I don't got papers.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I don't got parents.
Do you have a card?
What?
Do you have a
Is it
card?
green?
The hell's a card?
You don't- So the X-Men,
No visa.
the X-Men, they go to Planet X. Plot twist: Ghidorah shows up and starts destroying a bunch of shit, and then the X-Men are like, "Hey, you want to buy some watches?" And the X-Men take the astronauts underground on Planet X, and the X-Men are like, "Saw dudes, help."
Yeah, so the X-Men are like master negotiators. By the way, they're like, all right, well, guess what? We got a Ghidorah that we want to get rid of.
Yeah, you
guys got some monsters you want to get rid of, namely Godzilla and Rodan.
So how about this? How about this?
But also, you guys got cancer, and that thing's a bitch. So we will take off Godzilla and Rodan from your hands, and we'll also give you the cure for cancer.
Yeah,
just in case getting the monsters off your hands wasn't,
one of those was a deal and a half, but both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Something's clearly up.
That's two and a half deals.
But that in a nutshell is the film really. Aliens are like, help, give us your monsters real quick. Let us just swoop on in there and
there was a couple back and forths.
Eat them off their hands. What
the astronauts went back and forth a couple times.
This is just like an absolute like bare essentials. Kind of recap.
Yeah. But anyways, so they go back to Earth. They're like, hey, we're going to help them out. So they find a way to, like, basically the X-Men, like, show up on Earth unannounced. And then, like, they take the monsters off of our hands. And then they take them to Planet X where they start fighting Ghidorah. And I forget why the astronauts go back to Planet X. But there's some reason why they needed to
retrieve the cure.
Cancer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They went to go get the cure for cancer.
The foam block.
So it was
the gold.
Basically,
the golden record player.
It was a reverse record, yeah. Like instead of just
Queen's
a disc,
best hits.
it's like a box minus a disc.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so they start playing this thing somehow on Earth, and like when they take it back, and then it's like, oh, you've been duped. We're actually gonna kill you all, by the way, and there is no cure for cancer, so GG. So, then. I don't remember what happens with the monsters, actually. I don't remember if they make it back to Earth.
They do. The aliens, they teleport the monsters. That's how the aliens are like, GG.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so they're like, hey, thanks for killing
Psych.
Ghidorah, but,
They
now
didn't
we're
kill
just going to
Ghidorah.
take you guys over.
They didn't even kill Ghidorah.
Oh, they didn't even kill Ghidorah?
It was all a ruse.
Oh, so they were, like, in cahoots with Ghidorah. Ghidorah, they're
Ghidorah
like, oh,
was,
no, Ghidorah, and then Ghidorah comes up, he's like, and then, like, when no one's looking, they're both like, Hail Hydra. So,
Yes. As much as a giant dragon can do that. Yes.
Yeah.
That is what happened.
It probably, it literally is a Hydra.
Yes. It's hailing itself.
Anyway. It's like when Hitler would walk up and just, he'd Heil, and then people were like, Heil Hitler, and he's like, Heil, guys.
He didn't go hail myself.
No, he didn't.
He saluted him back.
No, he just said Heil. Yeah, exactly. So this would be the same thing. So the X-Men would be like, Hail Hydra. And then, Ghidorah would be like, but it would just say, Hail.
Yes. just hail.
Just hail. And then they're like, Hail Hydra. And he's like, no, literally like hail, and hail starts, hitting them. But no, I'm kidding. There's no atmosphere on Planet X. What am I talking about?
That's the rough plot of Invasion of Astro-Monster.
There's also a chick that was cloned.
There's a lot of chicks that were cloned.
They're all the same.
No,
they're all the same.
I thought it was one person that was cloned. Maybe just all the females were just the same model.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what it was.
Well, because
and poor Glenn.
I don't remember because I don't think they specified. Not that it really mattered. It wasn't like a huge.
No, they were just all the females.
Well, no, because the female when that happened, she said that they were robots, but I don't know if that means the females.
Oh no, the whole species was robots.
Okay,
which is why the frequency thing like really effed them up.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
They were like computerized or something, right?
Yeah. So like the way they beat them, the humans beat the X-Men was that the X-Men were all robots, I guess, and they had a frequency emitter that they could like exploit and these guys would like
Turn
start
them into
convulsing.
zombies.
Yeah, they'd start convulsing, and then oh no, not no, we're not talking about Cell here. Yeah, so let's see. So they did that, and they like destroyed the entirety of the X-Men race by doing that, I think.
They just gave him a migraine until the X-Men were like, all right, we give up.
Yeah, but I mean, half of them kind of died because they were like piloting. They were operating heavy machinery, and then were like, you know, ODing on like high pitched frequency, and then just like crashed.
No,
They went
wasn't
into the future.
wasn't quite that.
Right?
You misremember the final detail, the most crucial bit. While most of them did die from the screeching, the final ship with the head computer guy, whatever they called what do they call him, commander? No. The controller.
Yeah, the controller.
The controller.
I call that thing that lets me operate my PlayStation a controller.
Yeah, the
I call
final
this
ship.
guy an idiot. Poor general.
Wait.
Poor general.
Well, they memorize everything. Remember 1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something.
Yeah. The whole movie, the X-Men were like, all right, we're gonna execute. We're gonna execute.
Order 66.
No. It was what was the exact wording? Plan 2 of item 6 of.
Oh yeah, they like went to their constitution and were like, hey, by the way, there's one obscure section that's a plan. We're gonna go through with it, you know?
No, it wasn't even that. It's like it was more like the episode of SpongeBob where Plankton like has like a like, you know, every time he tries to steal the Krabby Patty formula, he's like, all right, finally.
Plan Z.
Exactly. It was like that, but for the X-Men, because they're like, all right, so here we are. We're at I don't remember what the first, like, I don't remember the exact wording was, but yeah, it was like, all right, we've landed here. Let's begin plan 2, item 4, subsection 32, attempt 1, action.
God.
No, but at the very end, yeah, most of them died off from the screeching and buildings collapsing and whatnot. But the final ship with the controller and like his little posse of a boy band.
He got away, didn't he?
No, well, kind of. He said,
oh yeah. He's
we're
like,
going back.
we're gonna go
escape
into
the future.
Yeah.
See you guys. We'll be back. And then he like you know, pushes down like what's clearly like a dynamite hand, like an old school like dynamite like push switch, and then he just blows himself up. like he says, we're gonna escape to the future. See ya. And then he pushes it down, and the whole ship explodes. I know some of the people who kind of do that, but you could interpret it that.
I don't think they say they're going to the future.
No, he specifically says.
No,
your friends.
no. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Well, they're not my friends, but
Your associates.
no, not even close.
Your family.
They're also illegitimate, but not on the same page.
Anyway, so yeah, let's get into what we wrote down here for some Invasion of Astro-Monster. I like that this film just cut all the bullshit. It wasted no time at all. It just hard opens with the astronauts just flying into space.
Oh yeah, Glenn and the other guy.
It just
Oh yeah.
just does not let up from
Fujikawa
there.
or something like that. I don't remember.
Fuji
his name.
coward. Fuji coward.
I don't remember. Yeah, he was only there like half the time. I just remember Glenn being there.
Oh,
a
and
lot.
your incest.
Maybe forgive me. Oh yeah, that was
Your
brilliant. Yeah, more
brother,
incest
sister,
in this movie.
I would say more.
There was more in. No, I mean more like another instance of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, more incest in this movie. That was fun. Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate how it just cut all the bullshit. Like any other film that would have spent like 20 minutes getting to where this film just hard opens on. In other words, the pacing was quite nice because it never really let up.
It did remind me
You
of
know what
the
else? You know what other-
Mysterians, though.
You know what other
Yeah.
movie starts like that?
Huh.
Cell.
Oh god, we're not talking about that. We already tried talking about that.
Yeah, one of the lost episodes.
Yeah, in a podcast you'll never
in
hear.
in one of the lost tapes.
You know, in 30 years, when some niche hippie group comes
Niche
across
hippie
this,
group.
You mean a robot?
when some niche hippie X-Men come across this, they're gonna be like, "Oh, these guys were
Calculating.
cool. Let's go find
Calculating.
everything we can about them.
Does not compute.
And then they're going to be like, okay, so episode 1, but there's stuff obviously they're referencing. So we got to go treasure hunting. So they're going to find everything from like the Oscars episode to the Stephen King stuff. It's going to be great. They're going to be like, hey guys, here's all the lost episodes of the Legit Day Job podcast. So episode 1 was a lie. It's going to be great.
So Invasion of Astro-Monster.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty blown away by the sets and the special effects on this one. I feel like this is a pretty underrated film because this one isn't really regarded as much as some of the other ones as being as good as it actually is.
I agree.
Planet X was very impressive. All the backdrops, like not like unlike, I don't think there was a single shot in this one where you could clearly tell that anything was like green screened or blue screened or like awkward compositing.
Well, I don't think there was any of that.
That's what I just said.
I think, well, I don't think there was anything like, I don't think they used any blue or green screens.
You're right.
I think it was just a matte painting.
No, I mean like even with like anything like monsters or anything like that, or like
why would they
spaceships or anything like that.
Why would they?
I just mean unlike in other ones. Where even if it was like a matte painting, I'm saying in other ones there are plenty of instances where you could tell like maybe it's like misaligned or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm saying in this one like there is not a single shot where it's obvious. Nothing stands out. It all looks really nice.
Just on the planet or the whole movie?
The whole movie, but especially the planet. I mean the backdrops of space looked really, really good. All the set designs of the base on Planet X, it really looked like something like reminded me a lot of like 2001: A Space Odyssey with like how they lit everything and the architecture. I mean the guys go down into the little mail tube, and they go down to the base and it's just like this like long hallway with like. It's like an infinite looking hallway with like even lighting, and they walk in, the lights start like dimming as they walk in. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And it spends a lot of time on the planet too, which is also nice. Not the whole movie, unfortunately, but over half of it, I'd say, is on the planet. Let's see. The effects, again, looked really nice, especially Ghidorah. Unlike the last film that he was in, he doesn't look awkward in this one.
He looks pretty natural flying around and shooting the
electricity and whatnot.
Yeah, I like the electricity coming out of him.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like that the Mysterians and they're trying or painted in I don't know what it was, teardrops or something. I don't know. I remember the Mysterians chicken thing. There, it was shooting something, but it was it looked weird.
Yeah, the robot Mogira from the Mysterians. How it's like laser blasts were like Microsoft painted into it.
Yeah. At least Ghidorah's electricity looked.
Yeah, like it all looked perfectly natural in context, and it looked really nice. I felt the plot and the characters are far more engaging in this one than the other movies.
Yeah.
Let's see. Probably the only thing I wrote down. Well, that's not true. I wrote down 2 very minor nitpicks with the plot. Not with what happens, just how it happens. The first one I wrote down is why the X-Men were just chilling in the lake when they go back to Earth.
They were hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we illegit people do.
No.
Hide?
What?
You're totally missing what illegitimate means.
No, I know what you're talking about. I didn't say alien, though. If I said alien, it'd be funnier.
They are aliens.
I said the X-Men.
They're aliens.
You're not an X-Men?
They're alien robots.
Or are you an illegal robot now?
Yes, I am.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Okay.
That clarifies a lot of things.
It does.
No, but in the context of the film, like, I mean, I don't think they're. I mean, they said something like we were hiding, but why? At that point in the movie, they weren't evil.
I thought that was kind of just like well, we were gonna invade, but then we got busted, so we're like,
No.
we're helping you guys.
No, again, like at that point in the film, they were still like at least in from the perspective of the humans, they were still good.
Yeah.
Like, because at that point,
No, but I mean, but I think that's what that whole thing was. Why they were hiding was like, again, like I said, like just they got caught, and so they were like, we're here to help. But like,
no, that was when they took the monsters away, Godzilla and Rodan.
I know.
I'm saying why why just wait in the ocean? Why not just take Godzilla and Rodan? I just thought it was.
I don't know.
I just thought it was just funny. Like they're chilling in the lake that Godzilla's in.
It's obviously not perfect, but. Yeah.
Oh no, I get it. It's just a really minor nitpick.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the effects of them coming out of the lake was damn awesome too.
Mm.
I just thought it was funny. Almost as funny as Godzilla's iconic dance when they go back to when they go back to Planet X.
Yeah.
His jumping victory.
Yeah, they go back to Planet X and Godzilla and Rodan kind of. I want to say wreck. They have a little tussle with Ghidorah that involves Godzilla throwing a bunch of rocks again. I think it was about this film that I realized that history is mistaken and that Godzilla's iconic attack is not his atomic breath. It is his ability to throw rocks, because he does that in like every movie.
He learned that skill.
Yeah, he learned that skill very early on in his youth.
Learned it from King Kong. What are you talking?
Yep.
No, he was kicking rocks in raids again too.
Kicking it, but
that's right.
Pick it up and
he learned that he had the ability to throw things.
He soon realized his hands had evolved into opposable thumbs.
He just never realized it.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's not the brightest creature, but whatever. He talked about his brain in one.
I didn't know he could do a victory jump like that. It was like a jump and then his legs like crisscrossed.
Yeah, he crisscrossed and he like. I don't know what he was doing with his hands.
He should have dabbed.
I think he's about 60 years too early.
It's okay. He would have been the original.
God.
I would dab if it originated from Godzilla.
Oh God.
This one tones down as opposed to the last Godzilla film, Ghidorah. This one tones down the monsters being the good guys all along thing. Mm-hmm. Instead, they play them up as like, oh, so sad. like the human, like they get brought to this planet, and the humans like just take the cure to cancer, or so they think at the time, and then they just split, and it just lingers on the ship flying up, and it like it just looking down at Godzilla and Rodan,
yeah.
we're just like just sad. That they're like it's. I wrote down that Godzilla and Rodan got ditched like an unwanted puppy, because that's how it was made to be like.
They were looking up.
Yeah, they were looking up.
That one hit hard for
leave
me. That one hit hard for me. That's pretty much how every illegit child feels.
You get abandoned.
Yeah.
Your parents are.
You don't get abandoned though.
People don't want you. Your folks don't want you. The government doesn't want you. Especially the president. He doesn't want me here. You guys don't want me. I had to lie on my resume just to get in the door.
At least you get free food.
We should get free food. Wait, why should
you guys are getting free food?
No, I said at least you get free food.
Oh yeah.
I don't get free food. I use my penny on food. The hell? Why don't they tell me shit?
Shut up. Give me water. Earn your penny.
I hate you.
A penny donated.
My penny for the hour.
The second minor nitpick I had was when the aliens, like in the third act, when the X-Men were like, got ya. They brought the monsters back down. The only other minor nitpick I had is that they kind of screwed themselves on that one. They didn't have to bring all three monsters back. just in case, I don't know, their flaw happens to be just a simple screech that like interrupts the mind control of all three monsters and they get wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
They could have left Godzilla. They could have just like Planet X didn't even have to be their planet. Like their plan could have just been let's find just a random rock in space. We know Earth has Godzilla and Rodan. We know that. So let's devise this whole plan where we just move Godzilla and Rodan onto some random rock in space, and then nothing will stop Ghidorah.
Yep.
Like they could have just left Godzilla and Rodan there, brought Ghidorah, and even if the humans still broke Ghidorah's mind control, like
it wouldn't have done good for long.
Well, it still would have.
Yeah, I mean, even if it did kill the X-Men, which I don't have any impression that it would have. I mean, they were mind controlling it, but it wasn't like Godzilla where, you know, it would like attack them out of rage. It would just go on a random rampage everywhere, except there'd be no Godzilla or Rodan to stop it.
Yeah.
That was about all the minor nitpicks I had on this one, actually. What about
the romance? What do you think of that?
The romance.
Somewhat romance
between Glenn
and Robo Chick.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Glenn and Fujikawa's sister or something. But then also the triangle between Fujikawa's sister and Fujikawa. That's not his name.
What?
The other astronaut. I'm calling him Fujikawa. I actually don't know what his name was. It started with an F, but I don't know. But anyway, yeah, there's a romance going between Glenn and that guy's sister, but then also that guy and that guy's sister.
His romance was with Robo Girl.
Mm-hmm. That's what they want you to think.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They definitely there was some triangling going on there.
It was all part of Glenn's plan. The American. He was the true mastermind behind all the robots. He devised this whole scheme. He created a whole race of intelligent artificial robots and gave him the purpose of distracting the whole planet with monsters just so that he could gain sympathy points for his robo girlfriend dying, thus allowing him to slide into his best friend's sister.
Yeah, infiltrate Japan.
That I see it now. I see it now. Yes. Final villain, truly a foolproof plan.
It was supposed to be a two-parter, but then they were like, "Hey, Ishiro Honda, you're fired," and then he just never got to make it. Kind of like the Divergent series. It's going to be a two-parter. Ha! We lied. TV movie. Everybody drops off. Nobody wanted to do the TV movie, so it's dead in the water. So we were going to get an invasion of the what'd you call him? Astro-Monster.
Yes.
Invasion of Astro-Monster 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
I hate you.
That also rhymed. That's part 3. oh yeah. Rodan also was nerfed in this one. I guess you could call that a third nitpick. It didn't really bother me. It was just an observation I made.
Yeah, we don't care about him. We care about Godzilla.
I care about Rodan.
He has feelings too.
He has feelings too.
Yeah, I also care about Mothra. And you don't see me crying when he gets kicked up into the sky 20 feet.
Well, that's just good entertainment right there.
Yes.
That's about all the notes I had on Astro-Monster.
I didn't take notes.
Nice.
I covered all of mine.
Okay. I don't have too much trivia on this one either. I have like three bullet points, so this will be pretty fast. Although with this one, I am gonna introduce a new type of fun fact, a new segment, if you will, called Noteworthy Alternate Titles. These are legitimate alternate titles from other countries.
Oh wait, before that, what is your score?
Oh yes, of course.
Mine's a 7 out of 10.
Sean?
Probably a 9. Maybe 9.5. I had like no arguments with this one.
9 3/4.
This isn't a Harry Potter marathon.
Not 9.9 fragmentary passage. 8 plus 2 over 8.
7, 8, 9.
Jesus, 789 out of 10. Yeah, probably 9.
Yeah, I give this one 1.8 million over question mark. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. Noteworthy alternate titles. Because almost all of these, actually not almost, all of these have like at least half a dozen titles. I'm only picking out the noteworthy of alternate titles. So this one only has one. This was my favorite alternate title, which is the Finland title.
What?
The space monsters are attacking.
You just get right to the point.
That's Finland's alternate title. No exclamation point. Just a statement. The space monsters are attacking.
By the way, the space monsters are attacking.
Yeah, just a heads up. Just a heads up. So the only 3 trivia facts I got on this one was that as I mentioned last episode, technically this one came before what I believe War of the Gargantuans, I think it was. I mentioned, I think, yeah, War of the Gargantuans was the last one. I mentioned that one was the last one, last collaboration between Toho and this particular U.S. company, and that one was also the final one of Ishiro Honda's contract.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, this one is the second one. This one came before. We just pushed this one ahead a little bit. I don't have the budget for this one, but I do have a note that says it had a much lower budget than previous films, which was interesting because both Honda and this was the Holy Trinity once again, but almost everyone made note of they had such a low budget that it was like frustrating because they had to do this balancing act of inferior like special effect models and stock footage from past films, which I thought was just odd because like this all looked fantastic. Like you could have fooled me. And the only other note I have is that Mothra was planned to be in the film, because this was written to be a sequel to Ghidorah, but because of the fact that they had such a low budget, they just scrapped Mothra outright. Once again, they didn't have the budget to factor in the 0G physics into Mothra's larva just flying everywhere.
They didn't want to like ruin the suit, just throw it everywhere.
Yeah.
Fling it.
So that was Invasion of Astro-Monster. Next up, we're going from high up into space to down below the ocean with Ebirah, Horror of the Deep.
Ebony, the Horror of the Deep. Is that what we're getting onto now?
Yeah, that's actually one of the alternate titles.
That's the
The porno.
That's the rated X version. The Planet X.
I was gonna say that's the Japanese version because they're cool with that sort of stuff.
So Ebirah, Horror of the Deep. I mentioned while we were watching this is a very polarizing film, but at least amongst the fan base. The general synopsis of this one is there's this guy whose brother goes missing at sea, and he's convinced that his brother is still alive because like a voodoo lady told him, basically. And so he does everything in his power to go track down his brother. He goes to the police. Police say, "Sorry, bro, we can't help you. We don't have jurisdiction in the ocean." So he finds a flyer for a dance off to win a yacht of all things. He tries to participate. Shockingly, he can't enter because it's like 3 days into this dance off.
Yeah, he's too late.
So he just says
late.
he just goes and steals a boat.
He doesn't know how to count. He's like, oh, there's a thing going. He doesn't see the date. It's like,
It started already.
He recruits.
He walks in. He's like, not that many people, huh?
Oh shit! What were the twin? twin hobbits in Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Merry and Pippin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he recruits Merry and Pippin to join him on his expedition. And then they go onto a yacht, and there's a guy on the yacht who claims to be the owner. He's like, "Get off my property!" And they're like, "We just want to look." And he's like, "Oh, okay. You guys can spend the night. Just don't bother me."
Yeah, he was a regular. He's a regular Weinstein.
Why would you let people spend the night? That's so weird. Get off my boat.
Well, I mean, if you think
you
about
can spend the night.
The boat owner wakes up, and surprise, the brother just decided to take the boat out to sea. And so that's the setup. You got these four odd cast of characters now just out at sea, and then they get wrecked by a giant claw, and then they wash up on the shore of an island. That's the setup. If I keep going, I'm just gonna keep outlining all the main details. But that's essentially the plot. You got this odd cast of characters who wash up on a mysterious island with a terrorist organization on the island. I wrote down where did I write it down? I wrote it down somewhere. I wrote down the setup and the plot of this film is basically like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Oh, here it is. Yeah, plot is basically a D&D campaign. A group of heroes assemble through unlikely means. The party winds up on an island ruled by terrorists, and they have to work together with one of the locals to defeat the bad guys and escape the island. Also, Godzilla's there.
Sleeping.
Yeah, just snoozing
rock,
inside of the mountain.
Yep.
What'd you guys think of Ebirah, Horror of the Deep?
I thought she was hot.
The lobster? It definitely was hot when Godzilla smoked it out.
I was talking about Ebony,
It was
the
steaming.
horror. I was talking about Ebony, the horror of the deep.
Yeah, the lobster, Ebony, the Horror of the Deep. It was very hot. It was smoking, you could say.
She was steamy.
Yeah.
Steamy.
So hot I could just butter her up.
God. Yeah, she was.
Taste those juices.
She was. She had a very hard body, but I liked it. And she was a girl who knew what she wanted. She'd take those claws and just go at Godzilla. Like no attempt to hide her true nature. She was just like, nope. They call me the Horror of the Deep for a reason, and tries to attack Godzilla, but he's all square, and he's like, nah, I ain't gonna.
He's all square.
Yeah, he's all square. He's like, I ain't gonna do that with you.
Nah, I'm a square.
Godzilla's a prude.
He's a literal square.
Oh yeah, by the way, that was something that so when he got put into the mountain, he was also compacted. So Godzilla's a square in this movie. He looks like something out of Minecraft.
His love of rocks have transformed him.
He is a very sharp six-sided he's a cube guy.
That's why the music matched with it. It was very comedic and lighthearted.
Yeah. This film, right out the gate, this is a dramatic change in tone. I noted.
It was a good movie though. I liked it.
Yeah. It's a different director, different composer, and even a different guy in charge of the special effects. The director of this one is I mentioned while we're watching it, Jun Fukuda. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I liked him. I think he'd be a good addition to the team here, because I feel like
to the roster.
I feel like Ishiro Honda's just Joss Whedoning all this stuff, but then this new guy, Jun Fukuda,
yeah,
he could be the Russo brothers. He could save the KCU, the Kaiju Cinematic Universe.
Whoops. I don't know if I'd quite say that.
Mm-hmm. I think he could.
Well, we'll just have to see, won't we?
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah, so this one's a dramatic change in tone, not only in the music, which is the soundtrack to this one. It's almost like a tropical. It's like tropical music. It almost doesn't fit, but it does. But not only that, the film itself, only half takes itself seriously. Because there's a lot of visual comedy injected to it, almost self-aware visual comedy.
When they're jumping off the cliff.
Yeah. They're all they're getting chased by the terrorist organization, so they run off to this like peak on the island, and they're like, oh, we gotta jump, and they spent like they have this build up where it's like a nice wide shot, and they run over to the edge of the cliff.
Yeah, like all 5 or 6 of them, like one at a time, just jump off.
Yeah, they jump off, but they jump off on the other side that the camera can't see. Like the camera's to their backs in this wide shot, so they jump off. And when it gets to the last guy, he's like nervous. He's like looking over at the terrorist, looking down, and he jumps, and it like hard cuts to him jumping onto like a little ridge.
They're like 5 feet lower than they were.
Yeah, and he jumps down. He's like, oh, and he gets up. He gets pulled over by the other guys. It's jarring, but it works.
It's entertaining.
Just like I wrote down, there are several instances of just almost abrupt like visual comedy aspects that all. I mean, it all works. Another one was I think like towards like midway through the film when out of nowhere, because they got to infiltrate the terrorist like base, so it just hard cuts to our group of characters using a bush as camouflage to like Scooby-Doo their way into this base.
Oh,
it's like in the dead of night, and they're on
Ooby Doo.
We got some work to do now. they're not even like in like a jungle. I mean, it's a tropical island, but they're on like a flat they're on like a flat dirt plain with like a couple bushes, and they're just this awkwardly comically huge bush just like moving like 5 feet every 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm. It's a masterpiece, clearly.
Yes. And then after they infiltrate the enemy base, when they gotta escape, it just hard cuts to them just having 2 giant planks of metal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
To disguise like, because there's 5 of them, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, 3 of them are like hiding, like again, like it was like Scooby-Doo levels of just like shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
It's all it's unique. I mean, it all works. It's really funny. It's just unexpectedly funny.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
was like at the end when they were trying to save the island by pushing that button, but then they just gave up.
Yeah. At the very end.
I mean, they're trying so hard, and I thought they would actually push the button or turn it, but just leave.
Yeah, they spend like an hour and a half in film time, or like, you know, in the film's world in their time. They spend like an hour and a half trying to push a button, and they don't push the button. They just say, fuck it, just leave. Unlike other ones, this one is I don't necessarily think I would attribute this observation as why it's specifically so polarizing. But unlike other ones, this is a more small scale, like personal character driven story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
that's one of the things I liked about it.
Yeah, no, that's one of the reasons why I really like it too. I mean,
yeah,
even beside the main characters looking for his brother, it's just like 4 guys. I mean, you got like a whole bunch of like hundreds of extras between the natives and the terrorist groups.
Yeah.
But the characters, it's only 4 characters, maybe 5.
Pretty much, yeah.
You got one girl.
No, women don't count. It's 4 characters.
You got one girl.
4 characters, like we said.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Godzilla is technically an it. 5.
That's right. The title character.
5.
Oh no. Godzilla's not the title character. Godzilla can get out of here too. Ebirah, that's the 5th character.
That's the 5th character. Yep.
Yeah.
There was an arc there. She came up out of the sea, and then was
there was an arc there.
And there was an arc. Yeah, she went
someone
up.
requesting lobster for dinner, and Godzilla plucked her out of the ocean.
The arc where she came up and was outside of the sea, and then got her ass beat and went back down. That was the arc. Up and then down. So out of the ocean and then back right back into the ocean.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what was with the yellow fluid then?
Yeah.
Yellow fluid.
You don't remember the yellow fluid? Like that, like the terrorists, like whenever they
urine?
took no. Whenever the terrorists like took their boat, they were spewing out like yellow like juice.
Oh, that was a pollution social commentary.
Yes, I see.
They moved on from nuclear holocaust to pollution.
I see.
They're like, don't kill us with your damn trash. Yeah.
What kind of accent was that?
I don't know, Japanese.
Don't kill Japanese.
Way off.
You're a little off on that one.
Nani? No, I wasn't.
Don't kill us with your damn trash.
It's pretty much what the dubs are like.
Okay.
Let's do it for Japan.
I like.
Oh, look, it's Godzilla.
The not all the special effects. I don't think there was really anything that was like horrible.
I don't think so either.
It wasn't necessarily consistently as good as like Invasion of Astro-Monster, but it was all good. However, just like all of the instances, like the opening with the Ebirah's claw coming out, that especially looked amazing. With it at night and like a storm going through in the water, because I don't think they composited like the claw and all that, but they used like models for the boat, and they like animated like the models of the crew on the boat, so it all looked really nice. And with the seemingly awkward tropical music, it all fits together in an unexpected way.
But Mothra takes forever to wake up.
Yeah, Mothra's just dead.
I think she was literally
Like,
just asleep the whole movie, and then eventually
to, like, dance and sing. Just
they were doing that
up.
for like a solid week.
Oh yeah. Mothra was just dead. They brought her back to life,
and they recast the twins, and it was worse this time because they tried to like loop their voices or something to make it like sound like the Peanuts, but it didn't work. I didn't like these twins, but whatever.
Yeah, thankfully they weren't really there that long. They maybe had like a couple minutes of screen time. Like they weren't really relevant to much. They were just there, if nothing else for the sake of consistency, which I can overlook.
Yeah.
I really like the writing in this one. Not necessarily in terms of dialogue, but how the specific example I gave was that the guy who at first claimed he was the owner of the boat, they set up that there was like this wanted criminal, like thief on the loose. And so they never directly say that he's the thief, but just through a whole bunch of just visual cues, they say that he's the thief, which is something that is pretty unique to this film. Like no other film goes out of its way to give that kind of cinematic storytelling like that. And it's all highlighted with the comedy too, because so it's like masked under the comedy in a sense. Because at first they show up on the boat and he's like, hey, get off my boat. And he comes out with a shotgun like out of nowhere. He's like, get off my boat. And they're like, whoa, we just want to look around. He's like, oh, okay. And then
you're right.
And then he wakes up, and
like I said, he Weinsteined them. He was like, oh, well, if you want to stay on my boat, y'all can spend the night.
Yeah.
We can do slumber party stuff. Strip poker. Yeah.
Well, they did sleep in the same area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he wakes up and the brother takes the boat. The first little like visual comedic cue they give is when the supposed owner is like freaking out and they're like, what's wrong? Like, don't you know how to sail? He's like, no man, I can't sail a boat.
No, yeah.
And then how the brother like I don't know if the brother, because it was kind of out of character for the brother. I mean, it played into the comedy bit, but how
he was like, I know how to do a boat.
No, not that bit, because that bit was established kind of early on, at least implied. No, with the guy's shotgun, because he wakes up, he's like, where's my gun? And then the brother like just comes down from the deck.
But he had like disassembled it, didn't he?
No. It was a toy gun. It was another visual indicator that this guy was a thief and not the boat owner, because he had a toy gun.
Oh,
he was trying to intimidate him, presumably it was to intimidate whatever bank he robbed. But yeah, the brother comes down. He's like, sorry man, I broke your toy gun. And then the guy's like,
It was somebody must have stolen my real gun and replaced it with this toy.
Yeah. And then right before their boat is destroyed by Ebirah, the guy like loses like his briefcase of like a whole bunch of cash. It was again, it was just a bunch of visual indicators that I really appreciated. Even in films today, it's pretty rare, unfortunately, to get something like that told solely through visuals alone. So that was quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
This film sees the return of volleyball round 2.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant.
Godzilla,
that was brilliant.
First time Godzilla comes out, which by the way, he's also seemingly just dead like Mothra, because the crew, the party, if you will, they find Godzilla just chilling inside the main mountain, and like he's just dead.
Sleeping.
Yeah, he's just chilling. So their master scheme to wake him up is to take a sword, stick it into the peak of the mountain, and then coil some wire from the sword down onto Godzilla's face, so that the next time there's a thunderstorm, it'll like just electrocute Godzilla awake, and it works.
Like wait 3 days though.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not as bad as this poor Mothra.
Been waiting for
wait a
God
week.
knows how long.
Dancing and everything. Put a lot of energy into that.
But yeah, Godzilla wakes up and he jumps down and starts fighting Ebirah. And I say fighting because he picks up a rock and throws it, and then plot twist, Ebirah just bounces it back with a large claw, and they just go back and forth. They just start playing volleyball again, which was
Good,
great.
though. So
They did make Godzilla have feelings though. They made him look sad when they're flying away at the end.
Oh yeah, at the very end
And it
again.
looked better
Yes,
than
yeah. Just like-
Godzilla raids again.
Yeah,
With the
just
derpy introspective moment. Yeah, it looked much better than that. This one was like a sad, like,
He was like
goodbye,
watching them.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like,
They're
oh,
like, well, it never did anything to us.
Well, in this one, they like one of the
Poor
the
Godzilla.
bumbling idiots like specifically says Godzilla's neutral. Like he's not an enemy to us.
he's
just neutral.
Switzerland.
If we wake him up, he'll surely defeat the bad guys for us because he's neutral.
Yeah. That's how neutrality works.
Yes.
Not just, wake up, subtitle,
Goes
that's
back
your
to
problem,
sleep.
guys. Yeah.
Goes back to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just wakes up, he's like,
and is
nah.
just in heaven because he wakes up just surrounded by rocks. But yeah, at the very end, when they destroy the nuclear plant, they're like at first they're like treating Godzilla as this threat, right? Like the main characters, up until the very end where they're flying away from the corpse of Mothra,
Mhm.
and then they look back and like, huh, the island's about to explode, but Godzilla's still on it. And then one of them starts playing like the tiny violin from SpongeBob. And they all start crying. They're like, "No, Godzilla, come on, Godzilla, we forgive you. Come on, get off, go." And they start cheering for Godzilla to get off the island before it explodes. And then it really didn't matter because Godzilla just like takes one step off the island. Like he just jumps like 5 feet into the water and then he's safe.
Yeah, right.
I noted that everything involving the terrorist group, who they're called the Red Bamboo in the film.
Mhm.
Everything involving them, like all their bases, all their ships and everything like that, it looked like a Google campus because everything was yellow, bright yellow, blue, and red and white. Like I don't know if you noticed, like inside their base, like all of the pipes.
Oh,
For some
I
reason,
noticed. Yeah, it looked like
they were all just solid red, blue, and yellow.
it looked like the Batcave 66.
Yeah. I mean, it reminded me of like a Google campus, but yeah, same thing. It was all again. It's one of those elements that on its own would probably fail, but throw all of these really weird elements together, and you get something that I really enjoy this film.
I agree. Okay.
But my score is pretty high for it. So.
Yeah, same. What is your score?
Which is
A 9 out of 10.
Oh,
Alright.
wow. Okay.
Well-
I'd probably also give it a 9. I'm saving that
Another
10
9.
for the secret masterpiece that I just havenn't seen yet. But
yeah, you
9.
haven't seen it yet because you fall asleep through all of them.
None of them have been worthy. These two were obviously worth. These are two of the highest scores I've ever given, with the one exception of Gojira. So Gojira was also a 9, I believe. So like, I mean, 3 movies that have 9s out of 10, and these two are 2 of those 3. Like they're pretty high. So I mean, I'm waiting for like something just slightly better than these two to just go over the edge. Like no plot holes, no stupid comments or something. Like nothing I can say about it. Then I'll do a 10. But I'm hoping that'll be maybe not this era of film, but maybe the next one.
Definitely not this era. There is one film. My absolute favorite Godzilla film is I would consider it to be. It's absolutely equal to Gojira, but I might even say it's better than Gojira. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait quite a while for that one. That's one of the last movies that, like, most recent films.
Is it Shin Godzilla?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But that's quite a ways off. We're only in 1966. We got 50 more years before we catch up to that one.
Damn.
Anyway, let's move
What's
on
your
to some.
score?
Oh, my score. I give this one a rousing. You ready for this one?
2.
A solid 10 days cheering for Mothra.
I approve.
So let's kick off the trivia, because this one does have some interesting trivia. But let's kick it off with the noteworthy alternate titles, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
I'll start off with the U.S. alternate title, Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. That one's all right.
That one makes sense.
I mean,
That one makes sense. You got to ease into some of these, right? Let's move on to Poland's title, shall we? Ebirah, the Monster of Magic.
Hell yeah.
It's not no Moana. Okay.
Well,
Moana's a monster.
Germany's Germany, I don't know. Germany, if you're listening to this, what are you doing with these movies? This is something that it's gonna be a recurring thing. I've noticed when I was looking at some of these alternate titles for future films that we're gonna be watching. I don't know what it is with Germany. You'll understand a couple more noteworthy titles in, but anyway, here's Germany's alternate title for Ebirah, Horror of the Deep. You ready for this? Frankenstein and the Monster from the Ocean.
What?
Well, Germany got a little confused there.
Yeah, there was no Frankenstein.
Germany is gonna start rename, like, no joke. They rename all of these movies to something involving Frankenstein for no reason.
Oh, because they love Frankenstein. Because
I guess
Frankenstein is
But
German or something.
I mean, Germany. If you what are you doing? What are you doing? But I don't. That one's not nearly as amazing as Holland's alternate title, which is Are you ready?
Ready.
Awesome.
That's the name of the movie?
No. The alternate title for this one is Mothra, the Flying Dracula Monster.
What?
Okay, I think there needs to be a translation session here.
Yeah, there.
Everybody needs to compare notes on what exactly each of these characters is and educate the world.
Did they even watch the movie?
I mean, I thought it was bad when Japan thought that Caesar the ape from fucking Planet of the Apes. I thought they messed up when they thought he was Frankenstein, but my God. I don't know how bad you could get with this shit.
Mothra, the Flying Dracula Monster. She doesn't even fly until the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Takes forever waking up.
Yeah. She's dead.
But there's alternate cuts of this movie,
And she's
right?
out in the sun.
No, that's not, like, Germany might make sense why they rename all these Frankenstein if they recut them for Frankenstein. That's not the case. They're just changing the titles to these.
'Cause I was gonna
So
say
Mothra, the
if-
Flying Dracula Monster makes no sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Holland like recut it to where basically the whole movie is like
Mothra, the Flying
an
Dracula
underdog
Monster.
tale, an
It would only
underdog
be the
tale,
end.
Like them chanting for Mothra the whole time.
I would love it if that's the case, because what would that would imply is that they recut it with just stock footage of bats.
Oh, just tons of
or like a bat flying around, hard cut to like Godzilla
Actual
waking.
Mothra?
Yeah, like that would be amazing.
It's a bat for the new footage and Mothra for the original footage.
So that's what I got for the alternate title. So let's move on to the few interesting notes I got on this one, shall we? You won't see this one coming. So this film originally was planned to be another collaboration between Toho and the U.S. company Rankin Bass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You remember Rankin Bass?
No.
Rankin Bass was the company they collaborated with to make King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh.
Also, Rankin Bass is like, you ever seen the old like pretty much any Christmas claymation movie from like the 60s and 70s?
Yep.
Yeah.
Rudolph, all the Santa movies.
Yeah, all the stop motion.
Yeah.
The
So that's
classics.
Rankin Bass.
Yep. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I might have misspoke out. Maybe Rankin Bass wasn't King Kong versus Godzilla.
I don't think they were, no.
I could have sworn that they were collaborated with
I thought it was a different...
previous film. I could be wrong. Point is, yeah, that's Rankin Bass. So this was originally going to be a collaboration between Toho and Rankin Bass as a King Kong movie titled Operation Robinson Crusoe: King Kong versus Ebirah.
What the fuck?
This was supposed to be. I don't know what it is with Toho. They got a massive hard on for King Kong. They keep trying and they just change their mind at the last second. So this
they don't realize they got a masterpiece on their hands with Godzilla.
So this was going to be a King Kong movie. It was going to be. It was so Rankin Bass had an animated King Kong series called The King Kong Show. So the movie was intended to be kind of a remake of the show, like an adaptation of the show into a movie format. However, Rankin Bass was a little salty over the way that Toho decided to adapt it, because it has basically nothing to do with the show at all, outside of they just wanted King Kong again.
Jesus.
Also, so there was that, but it was also from the couple sources I was reading, it was also heavily implied that while they were displeased with the fact that they were promised an adaptation of their show and they basically didn't get their show, they were apparently even more displeased that they did not get a Shiro Honda, because they kept lobbying for a Shiro Honda, and Toho kept insisting that they wanted Jun Fukuda to direct this one as well. So Rankin Bass ended up backing out of the project, and they took the license to King Kong with them. So instead of just scrapping the project, they decided to. Sorry, I misread my note there. Instead of just scrapping the project, they just swapped out King Kong for Godzilla, which does explain why Godzilla is just chilling in a mountain, and why he's awoken and powered up by electricity. Because that was supposed to be King Kong. I mean, that doesn't directly explain why King Kong would be. It also goes back to how King Kong was supposed to be Frankenstein. They've shuffled things around quite a few times. Let's see. So that's the first note I got. Not only does this one feature a brand new director, but also, unfortunately, this is the first film where Eiji Tsuburaya did not do the special effects. He stepped down and into more of a supervisor role. And instead, there's a new guy doing the special effects for this one. His name is Taisho Arikawa, who basically had little to no experience doing this. He had come from doing TV shows. So because of his inexperience, Toho basically got an evil anime smirk on their faces, and they decided that it would be best if they could get away with forcing an insanely tight budget on this film, because they don't have their all-star crew. So
yeah, they lost the trifecta completely.
They lost the trifecta. So this other guy, he had done, like I said, TV shows for, I don't know if he did them for Toho. I'm assuming it was for Toho specifically, and I guess he pulled off these TV shows on a small budget, probably because they weren't giant monster shows. So according to him, he went on record expressing his frustration with Toho, stating, and I wrote down his entire quote here, so this is verbatim: "There were major limitations on the budget from the studio. Toho couldn't have made too many demands about the budget if Mr. Tsuburaya had been in charge. The studio knew I was also doing TV work then, so they must have figured I could produce the movie cheaply."
God.
So yeah, they that's the main reason why Mothra's just dead the whole time, is because they kept wanting to include more stuff, and Toho was not in the budget. Because Toho wanted this to be made for absolutely no money at all. They restricted the amount of times that there could be any compositing shots.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. This movie was set on an island solely because of the budget. Like, they did not have the budget to go film at a city or build any sets at all. So they're like, okay, we're going to just take our crew over to this island then, just because we don't have to spend money on the budget. There's very little, if any, monsters, especially monster action, because of, again, the budget. There's almost no compositing work done outside of the couple claw things and like the couple shots that
But they had to show the scale.
Yeah.
Where they have like people in the foreground and then they're kind of graphed in with the background.
Yeah. There's almost none of that here, specifically due to the, like, Toho specifically restricted that because that cost a lot of money.
Well, of course, yeah. You're putting film on top of other film and stuff. And
yeah.
Yeah, it's a process.
It's so yeah, I guess that was a very frustrating experience. It's
kind of like The Last Jedi.
It's impressive that it came out the way it did under those conditions, and it's a miracle that I enjoy it as much as I do for those reasons.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why this one's so polarizing, though, is because a lot of people don't like how this is really the first film that like has like almost no monster screen time.
Yeah.
Out of
Dogora.
That was different. That one wasn't marketed as like a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, true.
That was marketed as a crime thriller that happened to have a space jellyfish in it.
Yeah.
This one was marketed as Godzilla versus the sea monster, Ebirah, Horror of the Deep, and then it ended up having like less than 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, there was no deep sea horror. I was upset.
Although I will say that there were a couple, for the first time, like underwater battles.
Yeah,
in this
that was
one,
pretty cool.
The first one looked great, like when Godzilla first shows up and Ebirah drags him under the water. I guess by the time that they got to the second one, though, they ran out of money because the second one looked god awful. The second one, like the first time Ebirah drags him underwater, like when he first wakes up.
It was a political statement. June was like, the director. He was like, you know what? They usually up their ante on the final boss battle, DC, and then they just kind of blow it out of the water like in a bad way. But he's gonna literally put it under the water and not do that. So
he didn't even put it in the water. That's
the final one wasn't in the water.
That's what I meant. Like the when Godzilla fights Ebirah the second time at the end of the film, it was obvious that they were like they weren't like in any water.
I thought we were talking about the same fight. Yeah, I was like, they were underwater.
Yeah,
they weren't filming underwater. No,
that's like the first time they did that. That's what I meant. It looked impressive.
Yeah. I don't know what they did there, but whatever.
Yeah,
reshoots.
That's all I meant. The first time
reshoots and they couldn't get a pool.
The first underwater fight sequence actually looked like it was underwater. Whether or not they actually
filmed it underwater
is a different story. I'm pretty sure they did. I could have sworn I read something like that when I was researching the production of this movie.
And then the stuntmen in the costumes died, so they had to replace them.
They died.
Just kidding. No.
They assuming this is the movie that I'm thinking of when I was doing my research notes on the production. They didn't die, but the suit actors were definitely rest in peace.
Suffocating.
I mean, they like assuming this again. This is the film I'm thinking of. I read that like at least the guy who was playing Godzilla, it had to be this one because this is the first time really that Godzilla's like in the water actively for like a fight or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was reading that like he would have to stand in like freezing cold water because again they're not on a set, they're on an island.
Yeah, they're in the ocean.
I don't know about the ocean, but like other films they film like on the Toho lot, so they had like a pool. Like a controlled environment.
Yeah.
I don't think they filmed it at like in the ocean, but it wasn't necessarily as controlled as like the Toho lot.
Yeah.
But this poor guy had to stand and like waist down in like freezing waters for like 8 hours at a time while they got some of these shots.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dang.
Ebirah was a puppet, obviously, but yeah, this was not a fun time. Apparently, Toho did not allow it to be a fun time. That's all I got on Ebirah Horror of the Deep.
And we've already given our scores, so
yeah.
I think that's about it. Any closing thoughts?
No, I'm good.
No?
I'm good too.
I'm
You too?
I close my claws.
I don't think my opinions really matter. So,
I
what are we
am your
watching?
host.
What are we watching today? Oh, yeah, I'm Sean.
I'm Kay.
And his name is Cody.
Your host.
He's Cody. And
I'm
your
your host.
This is our legit day job. It's what we do every day for a living. What are we watching next, Cody?
Any word from our sponsors?
We don't have a sponsor this time.
Oh, we don't.
We
never did.
We've always had sponsors. However, someone dropped the ball by announcing that one of us wasn't legit. Thus, the sponsors were scared off.
Oh,
Yeah, we saw
they just
all the
pulled out
money
then.
like disappear. Like immediately, our bit count, or our Bitcoin account was just
Negative.
drained as soon as
Our
I said,
bit rate-
"I'm not
our
legit."
our Bitcoin
just
account.
done, zero, gone.
What was that before that?
What?
What was our Bitcoin account at before you announced that you weren't legit?
Well, it was in the green, and now it's looking red. Now it looks like we owe them money.
you right.
all of our years
tune
worth
in-
of pennies.
Tune in next episode when we talk about King Kong escapes and Son of Godzilla.